First up, we review Battlefield 3 for the PS3.
Battlefield 3, one of those games that are still sadly underrated. To Battlefield fans, it's one of the greatest first-person shooters to date, but unfortunately to most others it's still lurking in Call of Duty's shadows.
There's no way.
Well, it's time to be objective and unbiased, so here we go.
Fine.
In this review, we'll be focusing on the campaign aspect of Battlefield 3. For more on our opinions regarding the multiplayer component, check out past and future sections of our lobby. I've never played Battlefield 1 or 2, but from what I've heard, they were all about the multiplayer. Now with this installment, Battlefield 3, we have a campaign.
Good morning, Sergeant Blackburn.
When are you going to tell me what's going on?
The story follows Sergeant Blackburn and Dmitry Mayakovsky. This takes place in the year 2014 as we watch an ongoing interrogation take place and participate in what I'd like to call flashback missions, until the flashbacks end and we begin to experience the present day scenarios. Unfortunately, I have to point out the similarities between this experience and the one we had in Black Ops. And other than the fact that this wasn't anything near an original story, it was also a bit ho-hum, with a little above average B-movie dialogue.
What you're going to do is help us clarify the attack scenario. Your cooperation might even get you free of the world of crap you currently inhabit.
So while it wasn't a bad story and served its purpose in the overall progression of the campaign, it was still pretty forgettable. In the gameplay department, here are my ups and downs. Weapon selection. Nothing we haven't seen before, but still good. The weapons feel good, they offer great accuracy without the use of an aim assist and pretty much work like you would generally expect and want them to. We're presented with a generous checkpoint system again, one I've grown to know and love. That's always a good thing. The audio all around is good as with most A-list titles released. I did say the dialogue was a bit B-movie, but still good. I mean, hey, not all B-movies are bad. No, the audio sync for the characters and the cutscenes were also done noticeably well. Really tight, made the story even more convincing.
That's a nice story. I don't see how it connects.
What, I gotta draw you a map? Al Fisher was never there. That's why you went in.
Something I mentioned back in a previous lobby, the ability to run and reload. I'll always point this out and give a thumbs up for it. A lot of folks say Battlefield 3 is a Call of Duty clone. Well, whether it is or not, the guys over by the Call of Duty camp could certainly take a page out of DICE's books on this one. And the fact that in Battlefield 3 these guys clear obstacles like real soldiers. Not like the guys in Call of Duty who climb over obstacles like a pregnant woman with a broken leg.
Frost, get on Overwatch!
On the subject of vaulting over obstacles, that's another thing I like about Battlefield 3, the animations, from clearing obstacles to getting up to moving while prone. Well done. Although I have yet to understand how either Battlefield 3 or Call of Duty actually justify moving while prone and reloading at the same time. But that's okay, that's one of those video game inconsistencies that serve to aid and not hinder. So I'll work with it. I've also mentioned in our multiplayer section before the knife button, a much preferred placement decision. The graphics in Battlefield 3 now are definitely subject to scrutiny. I was really disappointed when I first put this game in. I read before buying that on the Xbox you had to reserve a decent chunk of space to install some graphics add-ons to see the true quality of the game. But I believe that even on the PS3 we're still shortchanged. I've also read where some DICE reps said the Frostbite engine wasn't able to show its full power on a console. So I guess real top-end PC players know what this game should really look like. But my take on this is this. Why is it that Call of Duty devs are able to use a graphics engine that looks great on both the PS3 and 360 plus the PC, but DICE's Frostbite engine can't? I'm sure there's some really great technical explanation somewhere, especially if a true diehard Battlefield 3 fan sees this review. Well, you know, feel free to share, but the graphics in Battlefield 3 are still good though. Just noticeably less polished than Modern Warfare 3.
No, Steve, look, I'm sorry, but that is completely unreasonable.
Again, your squad's AI, not perfect, but much better than the clones in just about every Call of Duty game. These guys do give some decent assist.
Back there. Order out. Go! Go!
The difficulty level is a bit tougher than some other first-person shooters I've played. Not a walk in the park like, let's say, Medal of Honor, but it's still tolerable. I've played on the hardest difficulty and was still able to beat the campaign in 3 sittings. The lack of campaign co-op is unfortunate, but you're given a Spec Ops type co-op mode where you and a friend can go do a horde mode type thing or a missions based co-op thing, but it's still not really campaign co-op. Very similar to the modes you see thrown into games like Medal of Honor and Modern Warfare. Some of the really bad things about Battlefield 3 are things like these though. The load times between deaths seems a bit longer than I'm used to. It seems really long actually, and that's a really bad time for a slowdown. After being killed, you really don't want a reason to quit. You want to get right back in the fight. Then there's no cover system, not even a lean out like we have in Medal of Honor. Now, why can't devs just understand the importance of this feature? To me, it's a given. Now another thing, this is the first game in a long time to hang up on me. This game hangs quite a bit actually. You'll be playing or at a menu and the game just freezes, or gets stuck at a loading screen. And today when a game freezes I have to worry, because since this generation of consoles, the only time I really experience a freeze is a precursor to a red or yellow light of death. So it's never a good feeling when I see that happen. The last thing would be the destructible environments. Why do I mention this as a bad thing? Well, here's why. Over the history of Battlefield, we've always heard about these great destructible environments. It's supposed to be a good thing, yes, but here's my problem with it. You can cause walls and buildings to crumble, especially good for exposing or destroying enemies behind cover, but here's the thing. With all this going on, there's still some basic things in the game that can't be destroyed. So you'll have it in mind that, well, since we're doing this destructible environments thing, I can shoot through anything to hit someone behind cover, but realize that this is subject to some really silly conditions. Anyway, with all that said, Battlefield 3 is still a good game. Not to mention its multiplayer element, which we go over time and time again in the lobby. So, with all the ups and a few downs, the lab gives Battlefield 3 a 7 out of 10.
That mean something?